what's been your most unexpected insight about scaling in the Philippine market?
I've had a bunch of failed businesses. And not only that, I've had a bunch of failed branches already. So a regular person would give up, change career, or change what they're doing entirely. So we never created a concept that's a copycat of an existing concept. The current gaps in franchising right now is that not a lot of franchisors yet are using AI and automations into their business.
How would you make it scalable, franchisable, at Choco Sisig Sundae? Okay, balita ko it's a dessert meets silog mash up that's weirdly addictive. Hello everyone, welcome to Build Different, a leadership podcast where we all strive to build ourselves better through the different stories that we share with you weekly. My name is Jasper, your host for this episode. Have you ever thought of getting into the franchise biz? Well, our guest for today will be helpful in empowering that thought. He's a seasoned franchise director and creative entrepreneur. He has spent over a decade scaling food and beverage business or brands across the Philippines, leading the expansion of Tokyo Tempura, Burrito Manila, and Nacho King at JWIEN Food Corp. As VP for Ways and Means at the Association of Filipino Franchisors Incorporated, or AFI, he spearheads MSMEs initiatives like AFI Spaces, bridging mall operators with small businesses. He also consults for Panadero Bake Shop and P Donuts, and formerly founded Offbeat Cafe, creator of the cult favorite Offbeat Burger. Let us all welcome Jorge, Miguel, Mickey, Wieneke the fourth. Mickey, welcome to Build Different.
Thank you so much, Jasper, for having me on your show. It's an honor to be here.
Thank you for
share
coming.
My experiences.
Sobrang busy mo for sure. But thank you for making
I made time for you guys.
Okay, given that this one is a leadership podcast, Mickey, we would love for you to describe to us what kind of leader are you, and how has this leadership style evolved through the years?
Okay, for me, leadership is a learning process, and I'm very fortunate enough to still be learning from my father. If I were to describe his leadership style, I would say it's very empowering because he would give us freedom to execute, and then he would give us like flexibility when it comes to you don't have to report to the office, just as long as you get your tasks done. And then as long as we're able to deliver within the deadline. And then if he sees there's any mistakes, he corrects the way. So if I were to sum up the leadership style I want to do for my people, it would be democratic because it's empowering, collaborative, and always evolving.
Okay na. I mean, we've had a couple of guests already in our podcast. Iba-iba talaga yung leadership style. And I love how yours is sort of kind of a generational kind of leadership na has been passed on, which is a good thing. Others kasi corrective na parang they didn't want that kind of leadership before, or there are some changes, fine-tuning, but yours somehow, while it's evolving, it's nice that, it's been passed on through generation from your father at the very least. So now, speaking of getting into the past as well. So let's begin in terms of franchising with the Potato Corner. I mean, I know that you yourself, you've seen it, you've experienced the growth, how massive it has been. But how was your experience getting to see all those? And of course, how has it also evolved you into your mindset getting into the franchising business?
Well, for one, in case you don't know yet, we're no longer a part of Potato Corner. My father sold his shares back in 2005, and I was still high school at the time, so I didn't know na it was gonna be big kasi wala pa akong malay and everything. But when we were still young, as in not really babies but toddlers, dala-dala na kami ng dad ko when he was opening stores and stuff like that. And I guess looking back, you could see that they were opening a lot of stores, and that made me realize na maybe Potato Corner was more than just a food cart.
Right.
And in fact, I would, even though if we're not connected anymore to Potato Corner, it was still a big part of my life because I'm still here. I'm still doing franchising. I co-run JWIEN Food Corp with my family and trusted partners.
Right. Galing. Ano paborito mong, just to be more casual and candid, paboritong flavor ng potato corner?
Ay, cheese, syempre, cheese.
Ako barbecue. But then of course we love potato corner, and it's nice that you got to share that. I mean, it's already part of your growth also into the biz. So let's get into probably just a little bit of a mindset for you. I mean, can you share a time early in your journey when you somehow felt that you are sort of kind of built different?
So, other than having like a very decorated father who's an established expert in his field and a mentor, so that alone comes with its own pressures. And other than that, I've had a bunch of failed businesses. And not only that, I've had a bunch of failed branches already. So, a regular person would give up, change career, or change what they're doing entirely. Pero ako, I'm still here. After these failures, I dusted myself off. Syempre, give myself time to recover a bit, but not too long. Because life doesn't stop when you failed or when you. But it's always okay to take a rest and pause, but come back to it. So ako, I'm here today. I'm still doing what I'm doing. I'm still working for the company. I'm still having the company grow. But not only that, I share my experiences with my fellow entrepreneurs. So every time they want to go into a mall, I tell them what to do, what not to do, what to look out for. So I guide them. I don't want them to make the expensive mistakes I did. So at least that will help them.
That's nice. I mean, also, while you get to share, I think whatever they share to you also helps you to evolve.
Yes.
I mean, in terms of leadership style and getting to the business and probably getting the pulse of how it is in the market. So interesting. Okay. So given that, I mean, your experiences in terms of franchising, how do you decide when a certain brand is ready to be franchised nationwide? Ano yung mga telltale signs na, oy, pwede, ready na to
For
go
franchising.
nationwide, franchising?
So for me, these are the 3 indicators to know if your brand is franchise ready. So first and foremost, kami, when we create a concept, it has to have a strong, unique selling point. So we never created a concept that's a copycat of an existing concept. So next, you have to identify a pain point or demand. So case in point for Tokoy Tempura, when created Tokoy Tempura, there was nobody yet offering affordable tempura. We noticed like before Tokoy Tempura, if you're in a buffet, yan ang nauubos. People line up for the tempura. But if you're not in a buffet setting naman, tempura is expensive in a Japanese restaurant. So you have about like 400 pesos, more or less. So we're like, why not democratize tempura, make it affordable? That's why we created Tokoy Tempura.
Nice.
For Burrito MNL naman, this is actually a very new brand. It just started last year, so we have 7 branches na today. For Burrito MNL, when we did the market study for burritos here in the Philippines, there is no affordable burrito. Like the top of mind is Army Navy.
Yes.
Army Navy burritos, 300 to 400 pesos.
Yes.
So you can't afford that every day. So we created Burrito MNL. So it's a Filipino Mexican burritos under 200 pesos. So it's something people can get on a daily basis. Also, people aren't unfamiliar to the wrap-like concept because there's shawarma around. So
Even lumpia.
yes, even lumpia. But the good thing about burrito is that a complete meal because you have your rice, your protein, your veg. So
Balanced
it's a complete
diet.
Balanced diet.
Okay, I love it. Now, apart from having your USP, also you're addressing pain points of the consumers, and sort of kind of there's an advocacy behind the thinking of your franchising.
Yes, sorry, I forgot my step 3 pala. Step 3 is
Yes.
that before you get into franchise, you have to have a solid back end. What do you mean by solid back end? You have to have a solid supply chain, so your raw materials. Next also is your costings. The costing should be profitable enough for both franchisor and franchisee. So when you have all these 3 indicators down, that's when you know you're ready to franchise.
Right. And of course, the goal is to be sustainable.
Yes.
To be there for the long time, for the long period of time. And leading JWIEN Food Corp's nationwide expansion, what's been your most unexpected insight about scaling in the Philippine market?
So, co-leading with my partners, the most unexpected experience that happened to us, siguro in our second year of Tokoy Tempura, I was still very new to the company. We opened 10 stores within that second year. But unfortunately, we closed 7 stores within that same year. To be honest, Jasper, I thought that was the end of it. That was the end of our company, and then over na, goodbye na. But it took only one store opening. So this person, she was a former employee of my dad. She came back from Dubai, and then she wanted to invest in something. So she was like, oh, franchise ako Tokyo Tempura dito sa Park Square Terminal, Makati. So when that branch opened, lakas na sales, ang taas. And that turned things around. Kasi sabay-sabay after Park Square success, we were noticed by SM Supermalls. Then we got offers from Ayala and Robinsons, and the rest is history. So I think my take from this would be like, even if in your mind you think that the concept is going to work and it's successful right away, even if you have all the indicators I mentioned, iba pa rin talaga when you execute it. So scalability talaga is learning to adapt, listen to the trends, and adjusting right away.
Totoo, no? We have to be resilient.
Yes,
I think
resilient.
the mindset, well, first off, the mindset that you have really to put yourself in the game and to make sure that you're going to be staying there. It's nice also that, I mean, there's the belief of the community around. I think the people who will be investing and all that. No? So I think it's good to be surrounded by the right people, I suppose, who believe in the vision that you have so that you could continue on with the fight. So your leadership at JWIEN Food Corp has launched, of course, you mentioned Tokyo Tempura, Burrito MNL, and Nacho King. What's the common thread that makes sense or make these brands scale ready?
Common thread for our three brands, one is, as mentioned, unique selling point. 2, value for money. And 3, a solid supply chain.
Right. Basically, no.
Yes.
Those are the points about that. Let's go to franchise leadership and innovation. So how has your work with AFI Spaces helped reshape the franchise landscape for MSMEs?
So my project for AFI is called the AFI Spaces. So basically what we do, it's sort of like business matching. We match our members with mall leasings. But before that, there's a training program that we conduct. I make sure they're ready, like in terms of the paperwork they need, how to have a proper concept paper. Then once they have all that down, and then once it passes my approval, we schedule a meeting with the malls, and then they present their brands, and then they do a taste test, and then after there, sometimes there's already lease offers being sent out, and they're on the spot they sign.
Nice.
Stuff like that. Because for them, it's really a big win when they see their businesses in established malls. And at the same time, I try to explain to them I try to erase the derogatory mindset na yung malls lang kumikita. There's a right way of doing it, and it's not all the time. It's not all the time that it's only the malls that make money. Because when you think about it, if their tenants leave, that's also bad business for them.
True. It has got to be win-win.
Yes.
So it's also about the mindset. But it's nice that you've created this kind of space for these entrepreneurs and new franchise biz people. What gaps do you see in the current franchising ecosystem, and how are you helping to bridge them? I mean, apart from probably drilling more into AFI Spaces and whatnot.
So for me, the current gaps in franchising right now is that not a lot of franchisors yet are using AI and automations into their business. It's not AI is not a bad thing if you ask me. Kasi my belief with AI is that it's just a tool. Parang the person operating it pa rin.
Yeah.
All the ideas, the concepts, the prompts will still be coming from you. So I feel like if you integrate AI and automations into your franchise business, things will be closer. Maybe conversions of franchise will be faster. Conversions of customers for franchise-owned stores will be greater.
Right.
So ang dami pang pwede gawin. Me, although I'm not doing this on a national level yet, I'm just doing this for my franchisees. What I do is I train my franchisees the basic way to use Meta Facebook ads so that they can convert their Facebook pages into a cloud kitchen. So that's additional revenue stream other than their existing physical store, Grab, Food Panda. With regards to AI tools, I'm still mastering it and how I can integrate it in our system. And I will offer that training to my franchisees as well, and maybe fellow AFI members and fellow entrepreneurs as well.
That's cool. I mean, you gotta be friends with technology, I suppose.
Yes.
Integrated in the businesses, and that's the way to go. Which I think is sort of kind of a gift from the pandemic. People were really pushed into getting to digital as well because of because we were stuck. But then it's a good thing. At least one of the good things that the pandemic birthed for most of us is for business people as well. Now, I know that you've been fathering for AFI. So as a VP for Ways and Means at AFI, what's a recent win that made you feel proudest? Proud dad.
Well, it's not really a recent win, but the biggest win for me is like finally seeing our members open already in established malls. Like when I see, nasa SM na siya, and it's not only his first branch, it's like his second or third. Parang when you see them winning, you see their success unrolling. That for me is a big win already.
Nice. Yeah. At least somehow you feel that you're part of the success because you've inspired them, you've allowed them to learn the ropes somehow, and you're just there cheering for them. Okay, let's get into a couple of concepts that you've released. Let's go to Offbeat Cafe's Donut Burger, which was, I think, ahead of its time when you got to launch it. How do you balance the out-of-the-box ideas with the commercial viability?
Well, to be honest, Offbeat was like a pet project when I was still young, in my 20s pa. So it started out as a stall in Midnight Mercato. We were one of the OG vendors kami ng Midnight Mercato. So it had shock value because it was like, it's a donut burger. And not only any donut, it was like 2 Krispy Kreme buns, and a bacon cheese sandwich with fried eggs. So it was so crazy. So to be honest, at the time, I wasn't thinking that far ahead that it was going to be successful. But now that I'm older and wiser, if I were to talk to my past self, and my past self was going to tell my past self that this is going to be a business, siguro I would make it more stable. Maybe if it can be integrated into a habit so that it's not just a fad, because habits are scalable. Fads are just like, parang if it's not popular anymore, people will forget about it.
That's right. Actually. Pero parang interesting Parang pwede pang ibalik yung offbeat burger. I'm thinking about it. I mean, coming from the word offbeat, diba, you could still, innovate how you could put savory and sweet together in many other ways. Baka we're interested. JCM Manila, you wanna have a franchise, wanna discuss something about it, you can do that. But so ito nga, when you're nurturing a quirky or niche concept, how do you gauge if it has legs to go or to grow beyond trend or the fad status?
So with regards to that, it's related to my past answer. So again, we have to separate it. If no matter how quirky it is, it has to be habitual or integrated with someone's life. If it's like luxury or something that you don't buy often, I don't think it will survive.
Interesting. Specifically for franchise.
Yes.
No? Yeah. Cool. Okay, how do you keep creative momentum while steering multiple brands at once?
So how we keep creative momentum? So we have a team per department, and then everything is segregated into tasks that you have to do per brand. So that way, nobody's nobody's stretched too thin, and there's always someone following up every Monday to keep us on track with our goals and deliverables. Accountability, yes.
Okay. That's needed. May yung ibang companies natin dyan who's listening. This is how you learn. So please keep on listening, keep on watching. Now let's go into the mentorship portion of this podcast. As a franchise consultant for Panadero Bake Shop and P Donuts, what's the first piece of advice you give to a brand that wants to scale?
So first, don't necessarily get into franchising just yet. Before you do that, you need to make sure that your systems are okay, your costs are okay, your food costs are okay, so profitable for you and the franchise. Your contracts are okay. Also, do you have prototype stores? So once you have that all down, that's when they know that they're ready to franchise already.
There you go. So specifically, based on your experience, what do you look for in a founder or team before, kasi it's gonna be a relationship, no?
Yes.
Before committing to a consultancy relationship with them?
So what I look in founders or a team when they get me to coach them is that I want to see their drive, how coachable they are, how willing they are to accept new ideas. Because it doesn't matter who they are or what station in life they are. As long as they're coachable, I can help them.
Yun. Gotta have the grit.
Yes, grit.
To get into the business. Well, syempre kasi sabi
Tama,
nila,
tama.
di ba, the ideas, medyo somehow, madali lang eh, di ba? You could find inspiration everywhere, but if you're not there for the long game,
Sustainability and execution, iba na yun. Iba usapan na yun.
exactly. Okay. Better have that mindset. Now, if someone is to write a playbook based on your leadership journey, what would be the opening chapter? Yes, baka maisipan mo rin gumawa ng book. So let's think about it.
So I think the opening chapter would be like multiple failures don't make you a failure. They set you up to be a champion.
There you go. I like that. Okay, we can make your book. Let's begin writing that. But what do you think future Filipino entrepreneurs should do differently grabe naman yung from your generation. Pero, I mean, at least we gotta learn, right?
Yeah, bilis.
Gen Zs, Gen Alpha, listen up.
I think what future entrepreneurs are doing or going to do, they're already tech savvy. And I'm sure by that time, sobrang gamay at mastered na nila yung pag-use of AI and automations. What they shouldn't forget is they shouldn't forget the grit. They shouldn't forget the focus to stay in the goal. Yun lang I could share as not really an old soul, but some values and morals that don't change with the times.
That's right. I mean, technology is fast changing, but for sure it has to be the behavior, the mentality into getting into businesses, which we should learn and really adapt to. So, what's one lesson you learned from failure that turned out to be a gift?
The lesson I learned from failure really sucks. As in, there are times na ayaw mo na, but failure taught me how to be tough, taught me to have stronger willpower, taught me how to have grit. Builds character talaga.
Uy, it's a matter of character, you guys. I hope you're learning a lot because at this moment, we're going to be pausing for a short break for some reminders.
Thank you for tuning into this week's episode. Follow us and let's keep exploring what Built Different means.
The Built Different podcast would like to thank Henry's Cameras, Power Mac, Hollyland, U Green Philippines, Shoppertainment Live, Kappa Cabina, Surge Digital Media, Madcap Productions, Days Media Group, Jazz Up Communications.
Welcome back to Built Different. And of course, you're still with me, Jasper, and of course, Mickey. So usually we do a game here. So it's called Different, Same. Built Different kasi, diba? So we have different games for you. And of course, you'll be giving us some ideas. So sometimes we'll find it different, but sometimes there's similarities here and there. So specifically for you, it's gonna be called Franchise Frenzy. So madali lang naman yung mechanics, no? We'll give you a random product or sort of kind of an idea for our franchise. And then you let us know how could you make it, what is your idea right here, right now, how to make it fly, make it scalable as a franchise. Okay, so ito yung isa naming idea for you. How would you make it scalable, franchisable at Choco Sisig Sundae? Okay, balita ko it's a dessert meets silog mash up that's weirdly addictive.
So, Choco Sisig Sundae. So, if I were to make a Choco Sisig Sundae franchise, siguro I would do Choco Sisig different forms. So, maybe in a soft serve, champorado, in a cake. Tapos, I would do it like build your own. So there'd be a Choco Sisig station, and then there'd be like toppings that they would put, and then put it in a cart-like setting so that investment's not so big, so it's scalable. And then malls kasi are always looking for something new. So I guess that's one thing. Like, it may sound weird, but that's the same thing they said with the donut burger. So, diba?
Very offbeat to.
Very offbeat.
Pasok. Okay, so scalable na. Okay, ito naman, let's get into maybe integrating pet and lifestyle. How about Doggy Karaoke Cafe? A pet-friendly cafe where owners and pups can sing duets.
That's nice. So it would be like, what do you call this? It would be like another play from a doggy hotel. So it would be an add-on. You can actually already have a market, which are these dog hotels or places where you leave dogs. If they have enough space, you can propose that for this X amount, you can just add this add-on business model into your dog hotel, and then it's just parang bonding. But there's so much for babies, right? For parents right now, they would love that experience. So other than leaving their dogs, or before they get them, at least they have a bonding experience. They do the karaoke thing.
Pwede Tsaka pwede
Diba?
parang pag they were birthday
Yeah,
ng dog
hindi ka
mo,
nagagawa
diba?
ng structure kasi you're already adding business to these established dog hotels already.
Tama. That's how you're gonna be keeping the business for long. Okay, let's go to edutainment, education and entertainment together. How about escape jeepney? Parang a roving escape escape room built into a traditional jeepney. Escape jeepney.
Escape jeepney. Maganda yun pag kunyari mahaba yung pila sa transport terminal tapos
Pwede.
escape jeepney, escape from traffic. That's
Yes.
a marketing aspect. But I think in terms of scalability, I'm sure there's so much people selling extra jeepneys or mura na magpa-fabricate. So that would be a problem lang would be like, I guess, how would that work in terms of permits?
Yeah.
But maybe it can be like an event thing, like those event food truck setups. Like it parks there, and then that's you can travel around per city. Tapos diba din may escape jeep. So does that mean that the jeepney itself, dun yung mga puzzles and escape
Nandun mismo,
nandun
no?
mismo? It's actually better because the original format of escape room, you're at the mercy of where you're located at. Paano kung matumal yung mall? There's no people. So with this escape jeepney, it goes around. You go around where there are events. So there's a brand activation. You bring your there. There's an event, a concert. You bring your escape jeepney there.
Actually, no, nice idea. I mean, you've mentioned about bringing it to food parks. It would be
Yes.
nice, diba? It's an activity, an experience that you could bring also. And probably it could be a sort of kind of reality show or a series on YouTube or wherever,
Could be
diba?
TikTok short or reel or something.
Okay, now that's an idea. Okay, let's get into the last concept for this game. Let's go to retail. Balikbayan Box Boutique. A curated store that lets you build themed balikbayan boxes for gifting. Malapit na mag-Christmas ulit.
Balikbayan box. So ang ganda nito is that maybe in terms of scalability, this company would instead of offering a franchise, maybe a dealership. Like you offer like something that's not too expensive. You have people like they become your sellers. Like when they get of this subscription or this dealership, they become like, if you sell these certain types of balikbayan boxes, you get a certain percentage per cut. You can also design your own balikbayan box aligned with what the company wants. So again, the entry level is not too high because it's not like franchising a whole cart business where you have to shell out like 500,000 or below 1M. Ito is like entry level for people that don't have much capital but want to start their own business.
There you go. Parang nag-bootcamp tayo ng mabilis. But it's nice. At least we've thrown a couple of ideas and somehow the mindset of Mickey has been in play in the game that we just had. Thank you so much for playing with us, Mickey. Right now, of course, we're about to wrap up the episode. So before we do that, Mickey, plug. Tell us more. Probably invite them to be a franchisee too, or probably be a part of AFI as well. And before we wrap this episode up, we will be needing you to give us, like, just in case they're going to be parting from this episode, the key takeaway that you want to leave in their minds.
So if you guys want to get into franchising, franchise Tokyo Tempura, Burrito MNL, or Nacho King, you can message our specific Facebook pages. Also, if you're an existing franchise company or a company that's about to be ready to franchise, you can join the Association of Filipino Franchisors. I also do some coaching if you guys have an existing business and want to get into franchising, or if you are already a franchisor and want to just clean and smoothen your operations. I do coaching as well.
Amazing. So, what would be your final word to all of them, just in case they want to be remembering something from Mickey, if just one, coming
Final
from this
words
episode?
for the day is that I know failures are very overwhelming, and then sometimes to the point that you just want to give up. But know that when you failed, you're stronger, you're more bulletproof because you already experienced all these mistakes. You're now stronger and wiser. So use these as stepping stones to greatness.
Amazing. The struggle is real.
Yes, the struggle is
but
real.
so is your tenacity to do the business and keep on going. There you go. So if you're ready for franchising business, Mickey is here, ready to listen. And of course, to help you in learning and making it happen. This has been Built Different. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Jasper Tiongson. And please join us in our next episode. God bless.
The Built Different podcast would like to thank Henry's Cameras, Power Mac, Hollyland, Green Philippines, Shoppertainment Live, Kappa Cabina, Surge Digital Media, Madcap Productions, Days Media Group, Jazz Up Communications.